All right, Brick Fam. All right, so we're looking at another one of our Block Tech Block Succulents by Block Tech, of course. This is a Five Below brand. Seen them there. Haven't really seen them anywhere else, but hey, Block Tech Five Below. These come in at about $4. Really, really interesting build. Nothing bad about it. It's actually kind of fun. This one is the one that was kind of the bane of my existence on building. I'll tell you why at the end, right? But let's look at the box, okay? Before we get into build, let's talk about the rest of it. Of course, we got our standardized box here. We did get some extra parts in there, and so you'll hear it kind of move around. That's okay. We got the block tech up there. We got the nice kind of gold up here. We got the gloss sort of picture here. It's 78 pieces compatible with leading brands. And I say that and I say, let's go down the list. Lego, yes. Lumabricks, yes. Mold King, yes. Orcrea, yes. Fantasy, yes. Hogoi, yes. Brickcraft, yes. Make It Bricks, sometimes. Depends on the Make It Brick, right? But yeah, this is compatible with all those brands. It's worth having around. I think Woma is another one I probably should add. And I know that there's another one that I'm missing that I've worked with before, which is kind of like, came went. But there's a lot of cheaper brands out there. So, but it is compatible with Lego, and that's the important thing. Because if you're building, you're on a budget. This might be something worth looking into. Now, this is the Buckhorn Cholla. Buckhorn Cholla. Not sure how to say it. It is 8 plus. I would definitely say 8 and up because this one is aggravating. Very aggravating. On the side, of course, we got some pictures of the Buckhorn Cholla there. On the side, a nice zoom in on it. On the top, we got, some more succulents, and you can see another picture. So that way you know what you're getting, right? Right? Of course. Here, of course, you've got the collect them all syndrome. Collect them all, please. Get them. Born in the 80s. Did you know that? The collect them all was kind of a thing from the 80s, kind of to help toy companies sell more, cross sell art, etc. You have the pink moonstone, which we've looked at. You got, of course, the Crassula devil's horn, barrel cactus we've looked at. Buckhorn Cholla here. We'll look at the powder blue, and eventually we'll get the rest of these. Because, again, I'm not keeping them as the succulents. I'm using them for other building things. But there's some really good stuff about this. Would be good for, like, people that have office buildings, things like that. There's some good building stuff in here. That's well worth checking out. Now, I know you didn't come here for that. You came, whoa, uh-oh. Well, I seem to be missing it. Well, oh, wait, maybe it's in here. We'll check and see if it's in here. I put it in here. Look at that. Of course. Of course. You came for the booklet. JK, I know you didn't come here for the booklet. But the standard booklet, we've got, of course, the block succulents here. 78 pieces. We get the cross-sell art here. On the back, there's nothing. It's pretty basic. And here, of course, you got all the building techniques, telling you what to do, where to go, etc., etc., etc. I'm going to go ahead and tell you this one was aggravating. There's 2 shades of green. And even though the book discerns the 2 greens really, really well, the actual toy does not have as good of a distinction of the green, especially in harsh lighting. Yeah, there's this had some building techniques that kind of made me very, very aggravated. Let's take a look at that toy. Okay, so this is our Buckhorn Cholla. Now, it looks really good, and there's some, again, decent building parts in here. We got a tile in there. We got some 1x1 brick, round bricks. We got the plants with the little stud notch on it. We've got, these stackable leaves here. But if you notice, all the greens look almost the exact same because this is a secondary, or what you call primer green. This is a dark green, but there's not a lot of distinction between it. So it's hard telling what brick you're getting. The directions in the pictures give you more of that line of, hey, one color versus the other. And it could be me, because I have a little bit of color blindness. So there's a part of me I might not be seeing this correctly, but the greens were so close it was hard to tell them apart. We do get this one flower, of course, the egg shell piece. We got a little leaf stud in there, and then what I like to affectionately call the snow cone, all stacked on there to create a nice flower. Some areas I ran into problems with is having room for these big leaves. They do take up a lot of space, and they have you building a lot of it one at a time and then putting it in there. And there's some aggravating build techniques on this. A lot of the plants don't feel like there's enough room. One tries to push on the other, snaps off, breaks off, flies off, falls off. So this one, 8 and up for sure. It definitely is going to take a little bit more time to do, a little bit more hand-eye coordination. It To me, it was a very aggravating build. I like the parts that we're getting. I will definitely use a lot of the parts that we're getting in this, especially with the gray pieces here. This is all stuff that I would use for building, like world building sort of things. I've got the plants, definitely use all those. But a lot of this is rather aggravating as far as the how it was put in and how it was delivered as a building technique thing. $4 so can't complain too much. Honestly, I really can't. $4, I really can't say that this is not worth it because it still is worth it. It's got building parts that are compatible with your Legos. Lots of really what I call delicious pieces that are perfect for building other things. But this particular build was a little aggravating. Hate to say it that way. Hate to say it, but it is what it is, right? So that's all I got to say about the Buckhorn Cholla. Uh, Still worth it, especially to get the brown plates and stuff. Still worth it, and definitely worth checking out. Especially the inverted 2x2 inverted slope pieces bricks. That those are great to have. They're great to have around. All right, that's all I got to say about this. Um, Thank you all for showing up. I love you all. Jesus loves you more. There's nothing you can do about it. Good luck building and happy brick hunting.